Hey guys, it's Noah. Welcome to iHollywood TV. Today we're in Johnston, South Carolina because Devynn Hart, they are on tour for Glory Days and they have their new album also titled Glory Days coming out in May. They're here right now. It's so nice to meet y'all in person.
Noah, we are so excited. Literally, we had like 1,000 interviews immediately after AGT, but it was something about your interview that kind of just stuck with us. We were like,
We
yes.
were like, we found out that we would be with you in person. Literally, we screamed. We were
I was
so
like, we
excited.
have to make this happen because I was looking at your tour dates and I was like, when are they coming around my area? Because we have, I mean, I would have flown probably somewhere to have met you, but I'm just so glad you're like 40 minutes down the road now. So.
I love it because I feel like we had like all those 1,555 interviews, and it was like when we as soon as you came on, as soon as we met you, it felt like, you know, like when you have like a family reunion, you hadn't seen your cousin in like a year or two, and you're like, what you doing?
I know. And I was like,
exactly what it felt like. I was like, yes. So getting to see you today is just like,
well, thanks, guys. I can't wait to see y'all perform tonight. What a show y'all give.
Look, let me tell you, these what is it? These
the wine
slushies.
Listen,
They might have to get you to another performance so you can see a good one
They
because
are amazing.
I can't stop drinking them.
I looked at the schedule and the showtime. There's quite a few
window.
hours between end of interview and showtime, so it might be a different kind of show.
We might have to get
It'll be a different show tonight, y'all.
book
Stay
out
tuned for
because of
that.
another flight to somewhere else.
About to get another flight.
Now tell me, ladies, I know this, but for the viewers that might not know, take me back to when the three of y'all really formed the band, because I think it all happened in 2018. Devynn Hart started, right?
Yes, in 2018, that was the year that Dev moved to New Orleans. Danica was already living there.
It was actually the year that I was kidnapped.
Yeah, well, no, she was. I think it's kind of a Stockholm situation at this point because we're on year 5 of her 3-week trial.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to leave us.
She lost her job, and so she called me and she was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm going to do. And at the time we already had a third singer, but she went back home to Australia. So we were like, well, we're missing the third harmony.
Like, we have to do something now. Yeah.
Right. So, and I knew she could sing a little bit. And so, And so I said, well, Dave, why don't you come sing with us for a little bit? And then I said, you know, if you don't like it, in a few weeks, you know, just stay and sing a couple of weeks, make you a little money, and then if you don't like it, you can leave. And like Tree says, 5 years later, here we are.
She's saying that she said I could
Here
leave.
we are.
But she was like, after my first 2 terrible shows, she was like, look, you got to get it together. You can't go anywhere.
But she
And I'm
did
like,
say you could leave if you didn't like it. She must love us.
I think I was too scared to leave.
And then too, we have to talk about America's Got Talent.
Oh
You
my
guys,
gosh.
I was rooting for you to the very end. I was so bummed when you didn't win the show. I was like, how dare they do it to my ladies? Like, I mean, y'all were so good, but y'all got way up there though. I mean, like, and I think that really changed how fast your career has taken off for you, because we saw black female country artists, which we don't see that nearly enough in the genre, much less on a reality TV competition series. So how was it like to really, you know, put out in front of an audience that, you know, black female country artists can be a thing in this music genre? It doesn't have to be just white, female, and male driven, you know?
I think that first and foremost, we were really shocked that we got as far as we did, because right before we went on, I found out that I had literally the world's largest nodule of your vocal cord that you could have as a human. Yes, and so I was supposed to have surgery before AGT, but once we found out we made it and kind of what the results were, like what was going on, we were like, we'll have to just schedule this surgery a little later. And so we competed on a national show, really, I guess, kind of with a handicap. And we still came in 5th place. So I was like, you know, you almost can't ask for
And let
more
me
than
tell you
that.
something. I wanted to tell those keyboard warriors a thing or two talking about my sister's voice.
She was like, let me go get it. I'm like,
And I'm like,
they
you
don't
don't do
even
it.
know us. No, they don't know us. But let them have it. And so, but, you know, so that was, I feel like that was, I don't know, it really pushed us to different levels that, because we almost didn't even audition. And then the fact that, like, we did, and then we got the golden buzzer, we were like, I gotta push
We
this
all deserve the
surgery
golden
back.
buzzer.
Yeah.
And whose idea was it initially to go and audition for the show, or did someone reach out to you?
Neither of ours.
None of ours. So
Really?
we had a fan who just kept reaching out saying, girls, y'all gotta go audition for AGT. You gotta go, you gotta go. We were like, no, we're on the road, we're doing, because we're old school and we like to just go places, make the fans come back, build the fan base, and kind of do it all again. And so we were going to be going on tour with the Indigo Girls.
Oh,
yes. We were doing like
the
a week
Indigo
run
Girls,
with them.
And I was already practicing singing Closer to Fine way too loud.
And so, the same week that AGT auditions were the same week of that run that we were supposed to do, and somebody in their camp got COVID, and so it got shut down. And so then we were like, Jesus, is this you? Is this a sign?
Lord.
And so we were like, you know what? Let's just go. And
Let's just see what happens,
what's the
You
worst
know,
that can happen? They tell us no, and we just
Keep doing what
And
we
God
do.
was there. I mean, you got the golden buzzer,
Right,
Only
and
a
there-
certain amount of people get that.
Right, and especially the one
group-
that we got, because
group golden buzzer.
if we go back a little bit, like, so before we get ready, kind of a few hours before we go on, they say, okay, so listen, all the golden buzzers are gone. You guys just need to perform, give the best that you can, hope for 4 yeses. And we were like, all right, fine. But for that little 3 minutes of clip, we recorded for 3 days, and so we just were not ready. We weren't accustomed to TV, so we were thinking we were going to go audition, they were going to record it, and we were going to go home. And so 3 days later, after we and it's funny, they put you, we call it in the holding cell, and so you got everybody like practicing their routine. So you got like birds flying,
You
a man
got
pulling
goats
a sword
walking
out his
around.
foot, like goats
holding
and
cell.
llamas. Like it's just we're like, what? in the
Dude
world?
on fire, somebody pulling swords out of
It
their
really
mouths.
is the holding cell, you know?
It
Like
really
a
is.
circus, like imagine a circus in one cell.
It's like the Ringling Brothers come to life.
Yes. Perfect. And so after 3 days of that, we were just like, all right, when is our time? It's time to go home. And so, and it just, I mean, it was just such a beautiful experience, even back to where we had to sit down and evaluate and said, why not? We want to look back on our musical career and say we did everything. Yeah. And, if I said win, lose, or draw, or fail, we
did it on our
we
terms.
did it. You know what I mean? We went for it.
That's a great
And
motto.
and that's to say we want to be like, we love going to schools to tell kids that you can do anything. Like, we're just 3 normal
That's
people
so nice.
from Poplarville, Mississippi, and
Know that people can achieve their dreams and their goals,
Yes.
and they don't have to always be shut down or said,
Yes.
oh, you can't do this. Go
that's
do
exactly
something.
it. Or society will say, well, you can't do this because you're
You don't
this, or
fit.
look
You
like
don't fit this
You can
set
do
of
whatever you can do.
qualifications.
And now,
I love
don't get me
that.
wrong, it takes hard work. It's hard
Yeah.
work, and you'll get kicked down 1,000 times. But as long as you can vow that you'll get back up, you can work. It'll
And
work.
you have that snake skin,
Yes.
you got to have that snake skin to be in this business.
That's it.
And I feel like God's put us in this industry for a reason, to help inspire other people and to bring the laughter and the love, and y'all share that through y'all's music, and I think that's so beautiful to see.
Yeah, I feel like this whole experience, like I feel like you said, like he put us here to be a beacon to all of those out there. It might not make sense, and some people might not get it, and you might have to take unconventional methods because everybody in the industry, like she said, don't do TV shows, don't do this. Like even with our last album,
they want to control you a certain way.
Yeah, they said don't start it with a ballad. Well, we do. That was the first song on the CD.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes you have to take those alternate paths to get to where you're going because we did You Can Have Him, Jolene, and the world love it, and then we came back with another original song, and it kind of showed everybody else that told us no, that this wasn't a fluke, this wasn't a one-time thing.
Right.
And sometimes it takes jumping out there for the world to really see.
Yeah, I've reached this point in my life that, I felt like we had so much to prove when we got here. And I don't know, this season that we're in, the Glory Days season that I'm in, I'm over like trying to prove to people that, like, this is country we deserve to be, or we're great writers, we're this and that. It's just that, I'm just here to write the music and the experiences that I grew up with. I'm here to write about when I fell in love, when I got my heart broke. I'm here to write about
real, authentic stories that fans can relate to.
And it's because it's about the fans and the music, because I hope that we write music that when people are down and depressed and they're having bad thoughts, that they put on our music and they go, okay, let's go.
It puts them in a better mood.
Yes, you know what I mean. And so and I feel like now we're moving into, like, we're here for a bigger purpose. And so I I don't know. It kind of like, you know, I very much felt it very much felt like that when we started. It was like, you know, or people would be like, well, how country are you?
So, well,
Right.
what
There
was
was
Sing me
always-
3 Conway Twitty songs. I'm like,
I wasn't even
gonna
born.
lie. What are you saying? Like, that's a different era.
And I love that, you know, y'all said to Bobby Bones that you're living in your glory days. Like, you're living in, you know, the best of the highest that it is for y'all as far as touring. You know, you have your debut album, Glory Days, coming out. But before we talk about that, we have to talk about y'all performing at the Grand Ole Opry. Because when we were doing our Zoom interview, y'all got the offer from them, but y'all were still on the America's Got Talent show, so you couldn't do it right yet.
Yeah.
How was it like to get up there on the stage with all these country legends that come up here, they perform, and then you get to be on the same stage as them?
Noah.
It was literally one of the greatest experiences I think that all of us collectively can say that we have had, because you know, you grow up and you watch the Grand Ole Opry and you hear about it and you know all the history of all the legends that's been on there. And then like you get that invite and you're on that stage, you're in the circle, and it's just like, wow. Like it just felt like one of our biggest dreams like came true in that moment, and it was just like it's still unbelievable now.
Did y'all
even
cry? Like, oh.
baby, did we?
Yes.
Well, did we?
But we did learn our lesson during AGT, so we've gotten better at not crying during the songs, but
the
please believe
song.
between every
Oh my
song.
God, our finale song on AGT, we cried so hard. AGT, you're awful. Why would you make us cry so much? But no, it was just one of those moments. But also too, I think it helped work out. Like it worked out exactly how it was supposed to. And because I tell people, if we had won first place, we'd be in Vegas right now. Like, you know,
$1 billion act.
There you go.
But on the other hand of that, on the other side, we wouldn't be able to travel around the whole
And
U.S.
tour across state
and
to state.
tell everybody who voted thank you and hug all the people and kiss all the babies. And there's freedom in fifth place.
While I can't, I do hope we get a chance to have a Vegas show or residency one day. I think that right now, like for us, we are just absolutely enjoying going to the small town USAs, and some of them big towns too, big town USAs. But we're going, and the people get to say, "I watched you," and then I went and watched all your videos, and you got me through this last year of my life with You Can Have Him, Jolene. I got divorced and all the things. So that to me is just so. We've always been a for the people and with the people, group.
And it's for families to come out and watch. Even young little kids are coming to your concerts.
And when I tell you, they know
How
all
sweet
the
is that?
words.
Every
Right.
word.
Those little kids, I know their mama say, you better know them ABCs the way you know them lyrics.
That's hilarious.
I'm telling you, those kids have been
Yes.
singing every song word for word, not even like our more popular songs,
The
like
random,
Like
They're just-
albums of the
It's
albums.
amazing what kids can pick up, you know.
Yes.
and it's just so cool to, parents come and say, my daughter wishes like she could be like y'all when they grow up and stuff
isn't
like
that
that.
sweet?
And it's just like,
Yeah.
it like Danica said, it's so much bigger than us. And the whole reason we do this is
Like,
so that they can see that. Ooh,
Yeah, I think it might have been like our second weekend of the tour. We were in Arkansas, and there was a family that came. A little girl, she was like 8 or 9. Her name was Presley, and she came with her mom and her little brother and her grandpa. And she said, "I told my papa, you don't really like my music usually, but you got to listen to him. Tell me why Grandpa came to the show too, and probably enjoyed it more than them." But like, I feel like we've gotten away from the kind of music that literally generations of people can come and enjoy the same show and get the same feeling.
We've gotten away from music that brings families together.
Yes,
You know what I
which
mean?
And I guess it's a no exclusive too, but it's one of those things that first of all I love where we are, and I love that this really is the glory days, because even in the glory days you find yourself evaluating like what you did before, what worked, what didn't work. And so we've made a conscious decision that on this next album that not that we aren't gonna cuss, but like we it's so it was kind of not hard watching, but it was like where little girls where their mama had to be like, okay, so they don't get to cuss, but when they listen to Grown Ass Woman, I let them like, go. And so we wanted to be a little bit more conscious to like you can make a bop, but we want to make a bop that mom and daughter and grandma and grandpa and great grandma can sing without feeling like they got to go to church and pray a little bit,
I love that.
And so, I feel like it's the growth for me. But, because
Are we moving into our Will Smith stage? We don't have to cuss when we sing.
I'm gonna say all that because sometimes you just gotta cuss a little bit,
just a little bit.
People, listen. I need that T-shirt that say "I love the Lord, but I cuss a lot" because.
And honestly, we've realized it's just sentence seasoning. It just adds a little spice to what you're saying,
right?
But we're keeping it G-rated though
for this one.
G13.
I love it. Now let's talk about y'all's album. It's coming out on May 19th, Glory Days. So what made y'all want to name the album, Glory Days?
So like I think one of the like when we start putting together an album, we always go for like a theme, like so like after naming the tour the Glory Days, and we started doing the tour.
Yeah.
It just seemed like the right thing to do, and all of the songs that spoke to us the most that we wanted to be on the next album, they all kind of fit into the Glory Days theme perfectly. And
or I think that we go into go into an album and we go, what do we want to say this time?
Right.
Like, what is it that? Because and I think if we have nothing to say, we pedal the album that we have. But I think we hit that shift where it was we had The Girls Are Back in Town, and I think we probably could have still pedaled it another year. But now that, like, as we were putting the tour together, as we're kind of like trying to comb through industry and compete in the industry, I say compete, but like, you know what I mean, kind of still be in the same bracket as the industry folks. We want to.
I kind of feel like we want to give them like a deeper dive into Chapel Hart, because like she said, the second album, Girls Are Back in Town, that was kind of we're here, kind of we're proving ourselves. This is us.
It was such an
with
upbeat
you.
song too. I loved it.
Yes, and it was kind of like, I feel like our album, it's kind of like you said, the growth. It's kind of been like a progression. The first album, we had no clue what we were doing.
I remember what I wanted to say. It just left me earlier.
And because the first album, we walked in and we were in New Orleans. We said, okay, we're a country band, so we want that big Nashville sound. And the producer said, I hate that Nashville sound.
I said, and then we made a record. So that was for album one.
Yes, and then album number 2, The Girls Are Back in Town. I was like, okay, we're getting into the flow of the Nashville scene, the country music industry, and we're like, okay, so we're getting the sound that we want, and we have to sing the songs to make the impact, like from the ballad that everyone said we shouldn't have started off with, but that's kind of that's like that classic country roots. It's part of who we are, all the way to the rough and rowdy Girls Are Back in Town. But it's no longer a proving game, because like she said, it's about that growth, and it's like getting more personal. So now we're on date number 3.
The Girls Are Back in Town, I think we really just wanted to I wanted to be able to hand someone, because everybody, like, at that time we were just up and coming, and so everybody would be like, well, what is Chapel Hart? Who is Chapel Hart? What is? And I wanted to have a body of work that you could put in their hand and go, this is Chapel Hart. And if you listen and you don't get it, then you don't get it. Right. The girls that get it, they get it.
And get it, and they get it.
But yeah, so this album, we've had so many people who have dealt with loss. They've lost their parents and children, and they share these stories with us, and which also still puts them on a new journey. Like I said, there's divorces, there's people getting remarried, there's people who are,
there's a lot that's going on.
There is a lot going on, and in this kind of like shift that's going on, we're all doing it together. We're all experiencing it together, because like even with us, we've lost grandparents. We have, it's just been, and also too, we've had new relationships. We are all the things, and that we're realizing we're going through that together with our fans, and so, which is why I think that Glory Days, they're just gonna get it. But I think that I'm excited to see we're all going through a little something, and I think that's why music brings us together, because my grandma, she's battling dementia, so to see her go from having her memory in her brain now to being stuck in a wheelchair 24/7, it's really depressing. And I think when you turn on music, especially as a family, and listen to it, it gets people happy, it takes things off their mind, and it's really nice to be able to see the things that y'all go through, knowing that the fans probably are going through something maybe similar, and they're not alone. So.
And I think we I think we try to like keep that in the forefront of our minds, like from writing music to putting on shows that this isn't just our journey. Our fans are going along with us from way back in New Orleans, singing in bars to singing on all the biggest stages. They've been with us every step of the way. And like he said, when we experience loss, they have those same experiences. When they have happy times, we do too. And so it's like,
I love it because it's like it's like when we found out we are going to be playing the CMT Awards on the Ram stage. It was like the first thing we did was like ran our fans were like, we're all going to the CMT Awards.
CMT Awards, you know.
And like they would be like, I know this is y'all, but I feel like I'm right. I was like, it's all of us.
Yes,
like
it's really happening.
We've been in this thing together the last 5 years. And you know, when we go through and like we get beat up by the industry, we go to our fans and we tell them and we're like, y'all just pray for us. And they do, and they say, how's everything going? How's it working out? And we're like, we're up now. Like, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I think most people would say that we're a little too transparent with our fans, but
unhealthy
I think
closeness, but we are here for
we're
it.
too close to our fans too, or that's what they would say. But we don't think so, because I think that's something that connects us to them.
They
like,
look for real authenticity,
right? And
real
they're like,
people.
they're just like us, you know. They're just doing something different than what I do.
That's
but
what
we're
everybody wants
we're
right
the
now.
same people, and I love that people still look at us as just regular human
people,
beings who still go through things. We're not exempt from the troubles of the world. And I think us being transparent with our fans has kept that line there.
And I feel like even like growing up, you think about the celebrities you look up to, like everybody. It's like, you know, it's so big, but they're always at a distance. It's like, okay, we can never be like that. And I was even watching something last night, and it was like a celebrity. She was like, oh no, you know, you have to put the face on. Of course, I hate it, but the people. And I thought to myself, I was like, I think we would probably kill each other, like if we had to like keep the facade.
But that's not like real, you know what I mean? Like, and I think when you're in Hollywood, you get caught up in, you know, you have to have this certain image, you have to have this certain face, you know, on. And I think now people really look for the real authenticity, and that's what people want to see. Like that, people want to be up in your business. I mean, you know, people want to hear that.
Right. Our fans always come to say, I just love how y'all don't always get dressed up for your lives or put on makeup. And I'm like, first of all, we're either usually just waking up or we just too lazy, you know.
Or
put on
we also wear makeup a lot during the week, so it's but they're also our safe haven too. Like, because it says a lot for, you know, somebody who, like, your career kind of pretty much is built off of like your image and what you look like. And you know, there's people right now who would never take their makeup off to go on camera. Like, it just won't happen. And
there's some people who won't take it off to go to the grocery store.
Right. And so not that there's anything wrong with that, but so when somebody comes to you and they're kind of like, and they put that wall down, they bare their soul, they go, okay, this is me 100%, no makeup, no, you know, we just talk and we laugh. And
Danica hair is never really combed outside of shows.
Really?
I almost slapped you with this microphone. Get out.
No, I was thinking about your hair the other day when you had the two clamps.
So what? I was working hard. I was working.
Twisted up with the clamp. No,
I had one. It was double clamp.
It was like a big.
But I was doing a lot of work, and then one of the clamps slid over, so it was like
a clamp and a clamp. But the big.
And I was like,
mind your small one. I'm like,
mind your business, okay?
You know, this should be like reality show material, right? You know,
oh, like when you do your kid's hair to school and she come home.
Yes, it's exactly what it looked like. Your third grader, her hair's all over her hand. You like, girl, what did you do today? That's what it looked like. But we got a lot accomplished that day.
Well, Danica, Devynn, and Trea, thank you so much for letting me just like come hang out with y'all and meet y'all. I'm like, I knew from the first time we did the Zoom call that we had to make it happen. To do something in person, and I should have worn my boots out there. Why not do that? But
you know what? It's cool because I was looking down the line.
Imagine a boot on that foot.
I was looking down the line, and like for this interview, it's like all the levels of red.
Yes,
I'm here for it.
I knew to wear this because I knew you probably like a little sparkle. Yeah, but it's so nice to meet y'all, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here on Hollywood TV. And I am just a big supporter of y'all, and I cannot wait to see what's next. And congratulations on the album. I'll be sure to pick it up, and everyone's got to go pick it up on May 19th.
Look, I might have to get you the album before May 19th so you can do a review. Well, I need you to do a review, okay?
Ooh, yes. Okay. I will do a recap. We will do a recap on the show.
Yes.
Now we're talking.
Now we talking.
Yes,
Business, baby. Yeah. But like, I just just love you so much, and we just
I love y'all.
we got to keep doing this again and again and again and again.
Yes, and I think that's why so many do love y'all, because y'all are so real with your fans, and they know that you're, not this big, big head.
Right.
You're still humble and you're sweet, and that's really what connects us all.
Yeah, it's so funny. People are always like,
"You do have a big hand."
people.
I'm sorry.
Treat. Not too much.
But, it's so funny though, because last night there was a couple kids who worked at the bowling alley, and they were like, "We never had celebrities come through." I was like, "I don't know about celebrity. When I don't have to take out my own trash, then I think we can start talking about celebrity category. But as long as you got to wash the dishes and take out the trash,
Ain't there yet.
The universe has a way of keeping you humble. Okay."
Well, thank you, ladies, so
We
much.
love
I appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Oh, I love y'all.
Till next time.